Blog Talk Radio.
I do.
I do. Maybe I'll do it. Boom! Nobody's doing anything. That's a Salem wedding.
Welcome to Take Two Radio. We are pleased to bring you interviews with people in the entertainment and music industry, discussions and recaps of the 4 remaining daytime soaps. That's The Bold and the Beautiful, The Young and the Restless, General Hospital, and Days of Our Lives, as well as various other shows. For upcoming and previous shows, check take2radio.com. That's with the number 2. And you can find us on Blog Talk Radio, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and other streaming apps. Follow us on social media at Take Two Radio, and thanks for listening.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to Take Two Radio. I'm Pam, your host, and that was silly Anthony doing that into the intro because it always reminds him of a Western hoedown or something. I don't know.
I try to come up with something original every other week.
Oh, my gosh. Well, I was almost excited to say that the gang's all here because I thought we were all going to make it to one show, but unfortunately, last minute, Willie had to cancel.
Oh.
But most, everybody else is here. So we have David, we have Anthony, we have Candace, and we have Carolyn. And
I think that this interview is really up the Queen Valley. I think she might even be breaking a sweat over there in Tampa.
Really, can you hear her screaming? Can you hear her screaming, you guys? I hear it.
Hey,
that was hot? Okay.
Carolyn's not the only one, so let's get to it because we don't want to keep our guests waiting. So tonight we have a very special guest. He's an actor and a producer. Some of you may recognize him from General Hospital as Johnny Zakara or as Jake DiMera from Days of Our Lives. He's also been on various TV shows such as Major Crimes as Detective Robbie, Good Trouble as Nathan, and some of you may have been even lucky enough to see him perform with the Pork Chuck Band. And boy, do I wish I was one of them. Of course you were. So let's go ahead and
I was too.
Welcome Brandon Barash. Hello,
Hi there.
Brandon.
Hey, guys.
Welcome.
How are you? Thank you. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, and thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedule to join us tonight. As you can tell, we're all super excited to have you.
Yeah, I sense no enthusiasm. I wish it was.
No.
Oh, dang.
Oh, well, then we didn't do our jobs, and we're all fired. Guys, you're fired after this, okay?
Yeah, I'll be conducting the interview. I am the captain now.
Yeah. You go right ahead. So I guess that means you're interviewing us?
Yes, I know everything about you.
Oh,
and
my
soon
God.
so will the world.
Now I'm afraid.
Now I am afraid too.
I think that's the Johnny Zakara coming out in you.
Might be.
I'm an open book. So
why don't we just interview Harper instead?
That would be good. Yeah. Well, all of us here obviously know you from both General Hospital and Days of Our Lives, and Pork Chuck. So we have questions. Are you ready to get raked over?
Hopefully I have answers.
I think so. We're pretty easygoing. We had Will, I don't know if you heard me mention, he was supposed to be with us tonight. He's one of the co-hosts as well. And so after I ask my questions, okay, I'll ask his questions then. All right, here we go, because we don't want to keep you forever. Let's see. We all have 2 questions. I may have a third that kind of goes together. When did you decide to get into the entertainment industry, and why?
Well, it kind of found me. I was in high school, and I was, I was hell-bent on being a 5'11" Jewish professional basketball player, and my body had other plans. And I injured my knees sophomore year of high school, and it was one of those things, I was just depressed after I had to quit the basketball team. Doctor said, you have to have surgery or find something else to do. And I was like, well, guess I'll find something else to do. And my girlfriend at the time got me an audition for the school musical. I was furious because I wanted nothing to do with acting or theater or anything. I would see all the theater kids after school, hours and hours. Like when I'm done with basketball practice, I'd see the theater kids still in the hallways running lines. And I thought, how is that enjoyable? That just looks like torture. And we don't have enough schoolwork to do. Then you got to go home and memorize, however many pages of script. So I was not happy with her, but I said, you know what, I'll do it because I need to find something to do, and you're in the musical, so I'm not going to bail on you. And she handed me the materials. It was a Monday, and she said, your audition's on Friday. I took the materials home, and by that night, that Monday night, I had a pretty good feeling I was going to do it for the rest of my life. I fell in love with it. Oh, yeah. I fell in love with the process. It was a time in my life where I wasn't too happy. I was a very angsty teenager. I had moved from Southern California to Houston, Texas, which was very difficult on me as a 14-year-old, and I was kind of miserable. So it felt good to slip somebody, to quote Atticus Finch, to slip somebody else's shoes on and walk around for a while.
Yeah, that's understandable. So did the music part of you come out then?
It did. I was a very, very mediocre at best singer back then. I guess we all are when we start, unless we're prodigies. But I definitely enjoyed the singing part of it, and it all just kind of came together as the years went on.
That's very interesting. Thank you for sharing that with us.
What was that role?
What was what?
What's that?
What was that first role?
It was Huckleberry Finn, Big River, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. So it was, it was great. And then, of course, that year we went on to do A Few Good Men, and it was the 90s, so everybody knew what A Few Good Men was. Mm-hmm. And it started out as a stage play written by Aaron Sorkin. And to be able to sink my teeth into that was just, that's roles like that. That's kind of, every actor kind of dreams of doing that kind of stuff. And even as a 15-year-old, I was, out over my skis, but I just loved it.
Yeah, meaty roles. That helps.
Very, very.
Then it's nice to take out, go on to something that's light and airy to get, give yourself a little break and to do something different.
Yeah, exactly.
So, as far as I know, your first soap opera role was on General Hospital. Am I correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. So what did you learn from being on there that you now use on days?
Show up prepared, which, that applies to really any acting job, any job that you have. You got to show up prepared. If you do, people will notice, and you'll be loose enough to be able to play around on set. If you're not prepared, you're sitting there thinking, what's my next line? And your performance, comes off as wooden and just doesn't happen. So the biggest thing, especially for a job in a soap opera, we don't have the luxury of, say on primetime shows, when I would do those, we do 8 pages a day, and you spend 2 to 3 hours on one scene, and you spend the first hour rehearsing it, lighting it, doing all that. And so you can kind of ease into every scene and ease into the lines and the characters and the relationships. Daytime, you got to have it all kind of in your back pocket when you walk on set. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, it's pretty evident that you don't. And it just doesn't it doesn't serve the other actors very well. It doesn't serve the story well. So the biggest thing is show up prepared. Don't be afraid to take a risk. I worked a lot with Bruce Weitz, who's a very courageous actor, also a very giving actor. So, he never hesitated to take a risk, and there's always a director or producer to pull you back if they don't like it, and to just commit to whatever it is you want to play. And if, they're not digging it, they'll tell you.
Absolutely. You won't get a script the following week.
Or, like Joey Tribbiani, you'll fall down an open elevator shaft. Like Dr. Drake Ramore. Yeah.
Yeah. I love that. So we all know that the devil's running amok in Salem.
Oh,
so
yes.
So if by some chance Jake was taken over, what would be the first thing he would do?
In my mind, I had this fantasy pitch that I wanted to make to Ron and company. And what I would have loved to have seen is Jake gets taken over and becomes Stefan, and Stefan seeks out revenge on everybody who ever did him wrong. I thought that would be a good storyline. Right?
Ooh.
I love that.
Yeah, don't get your hopes up, though, because it doesn't happen.
Oh.
Yeah. But, yeah, if I got to write for Jake, that's what I would have written.
Well, the devil is never really gone for, he was gone for, 20 years, but, never say never. So.
Yeah.
There's always that chance that we can get Jake taken over. And we can also encourage Ron. Yeah. All right. Well, Willie's question is, if you were not an actor, what other professions would you be interested in? I guess it wouldn't be basketball at this point, I'm sorry to say.
No. I mean, if I were 6'5", 6'6", and, a little more talented, sure. But, no, I would, before I actually committed to being an actor, I was doing pre-med in undergrad. So I went to college at USC, University of Southern California, and was in their BFA theater program, but also in a pre-med track. And so it was, I spent a couple years kind of vacillating back and forth. And once I realized I was doing the pre-med stuff because I once wanted to be a doctor and my family kind of wanted me to be a doctor, they liked that. They liked that hat on me. Once I realized that what I really wanted to do was act, then I, made the phone call and said, hey, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to be an actor, and I had their support. So, yeah, probably a surgeon. I wanted to be an orthopedic or cardiac surgeon when I was younger.
You're not the first person that we've interviewed that has been pre-med or pre-law and then turned to an actor. Yeah. I think that's so interesting that it's such a difference. I mean, it's one spectrum to another, except maybe with a lawyer. A lawyer kind of has to act too.
Yeah, but if you really want to get into the minutia of it, it's people. Look, to be an actor and to be somewhat successful in this business, to be a successful doctor, to be a successful lawyer, there has to be, even if it's just a twinge of narcissism or ego, right? I'm not sitting here saying I'm a narcissist. I don't fancy myself a narcissist. But then again, no narcissist does. But there are similarities between the three: doctor, actor, lawyer.
Right.
Being an attorney is very, if you're a trial lawyer, you're performing. I have a very, very dear friend who's a very successful trial attorney out here, and he and I talk about all the time the similarities between what he does and what I do. And so all three professions also take a great amount of confidence and almost a bit of naivete in that it's that whole notion of, well, someone's got to do it, so I'll do it. Someone's got to play that role. Why not me?
Yeah, exactly. No, I totally agree with that. It's just, I'm wondering now how your parents took that, that announcement.
They were to my face, and that's all I can speak about because I don't know how, I'm sure, my dad may have passed out when he hung up the phone, but he was very, very supportive. I was so scared to make that phone call. I was fully expecting him to say, well, Ben, you're paying your own way through school. I was very lucky to have my father, pay for my college education. So I was, of course, scared that if I made that call and said, hey, I don't want to be a doctor, I want to be an actor. But deep down, I think he always knew what I wanted to do and that I would succeed. And think I always knew that. I know I always knew that as well. So I think that's why when I made that call, he was so supportive.
Well, that's wonderful. Family support means a lot.
It does.
Now, his second question is, what do you see in the future for your character of Jake? Any more backaches? I don't think so, since you're now sleeping in the same bed.
Yeah, right. Back on the mattress. So the back spasms have, I think, subsided, and Jake has a good personal masseuse. So if anything does flare up, he's got the means. But I don't know. You're just gonna have to watch and see. I was doing an interview a couple of weeks ago, and I can't remember what they asked. If, Jake could have another job, like if he left DiMera, what would it be? And I think I said something to the effect of, developing a great electric car, because Jake loves cars. And I don't know if we were having a conversation about energy or something. I don't know. But, I really enjoyed those days of Jake in the garage.
Well, you're pretty close to it now by living there, so.
Oh yeah.
And all the things that happen with Gabby, so, you have a good chance of having that happen.
Very true. We'll have to wait and see.
Thanks. All right. So next up we have Carolyn, if she can contain herself, because she's, I think, might be more excited than anybody.
Is she the one sweating in Tampa?
Yeah.
Yes.
But I think it might be close with all of us.
Okay.
Oh,
go ahead.
Pam, this isn't fair. Oh my God! Hello! I'm so excited. This is great, and you sound so different in an interview. My goodness, not the mechanic on days with that kind of New York accent.
Right. Yeah, it's Pennsylvania, but yeah.
Oh, Pennsylvania. So that is on purpose, that accent.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that. Well, my question is, you did...
You know what's funny about that?
Okay.
I'm sorry, I'm going to interrupt you for a second. I was walking to... we have this really great Whole Foods across from the studio, and a lot of us go to Whole Foods for lunch. And I was walking with Remington, the gentleman who plays Lee Shin. And he and I were talking, and he just stopped in the middle of our conversation. He's like, wait a minute. You don't talk? You don't have an accent right now. I said, no. He said, oh, my God. This whole time, I thought that's how you talked. He said, you had me completely fooled. So you're not the only one, Carolyn.
Oh, well, I picked up on that. I said, is this really you on the other end here? Oh, well, thank you for that information.
That's my evil twin, actually, in the spirit of soap operas.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
You played Ernest Hemingway in Timeless, and Ernest was a very interesting individual. Any thoughts on how you played him in that series? Did you have to do any homework on that, or tell me more about it? I did a lot of homework. I read a lot about him. It just helps it's kind of a blessing when you're playing somebody who is already alive. You can look them up on this thing that we call the internet, and it's very helpful in that you find out what makes them tick. You don't have to create the whole persona. It's kind of just laid out there for you. And it was one of the most free, maybe the most free acting experience I've ever had, because they were enjoying what I was doing with the character. So what we would do is we'd get one take down, and they'd say, great, let's just play. Do whatever you want this time. Okay. Wow.
So it was a lot of fun. So, yeah, it was just a lot of reading about him and his life and, what people say about him. So, yeah, obviously, I didn't get into watching. I don't even honestly know if there are interviews with Ernest Hemingway. I'm sure there are somewhere, but I didn't do that because I didn't want to get into building a caricature versus a character.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Interesting. And the other question I have, how difficult was it for you to replace Tyler Christopher on days? knowing now what he was going through?
Of course, I felt for him and still feel for him. I think, the path that he's taken is very admirable. A lot of people don't make it out. So I have, I admire the journey that he's taken. It was hard to see somebody who I had once been good friends with, go through that and not really be able to talk to them. Knowing that, I stepped into his job, and when I first started, hang on just 1 second.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have to write a check for the gardener, so can you fill the airwaves?
We can talk amongst ourselves. Yeah, absolutely.
We got this.
Thank you. Sorry.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to put you on mute. Okay.
Okay. All right. So while we're waiting, did everybody catch up on days today?
Oh, yes.
Yes, we need to talk. We're going to have a lot to talk about.
Yes, absolutely. We will
and
first
I can
do
stay
days.
for a while, by the way.
Yeah, good. We will first do Days of Our Lives when we're done with speaking with Brandon, and then move on from there. But, I mean, this is the first time in a very long time that I'm super excited to talk about Days at first.
Right. All I gotta say is ticky ticky boom boom, ticky ticky
all I
boom
gotta
boom.
say is I'm in the middle here. I'm happy with what happened, but I'm just like, yeah, that's me.
Yeah, well, we'll discuss that.
We'll discuss that. But I want to tell you something real quick. We have him here. If you guys have not heard him sing before, you guys really need to hear him sing. Like, seriously. And I'm going to be honest, I was there when he did Broadway Cares a few years ago, many moons ago, and he did Dennis from Little Shots of Horror. You guys know that song, Steve Martin has sung it. And
Yep.
And it just, like, commanded that performance. And I always said, if they did a sequel, if they did a remake, he needs to be in it. Point blank, period.
That's the biggest compliment I've ever received because Steve Martin is, I idolize that man. I have a very large portrait of him in my home. And it is, it's the most I've ever spent on a piece of art. And I did it because just looking at that photo, it brings me so much joy and it inspires me. So thank you for that. That was a really fun performance. It's one of those movies I watched probably 35 times at least as a kid, and it was
like
living out my
right
there with you.
You nailed that whole performance. Like the way that you like I think it's on YouTube because they redid it this past I think it was last year to raise money for Broadway Cares and the thing is that, and like I said, I was there live to see it, and that is honestly one of my favorite movies as well. So I was like, okay, I was like looking at the program, and I said, oh, he's going to perform this. And when I was like, okay, he nailed it because not a lot of people can do it, like just having that charisma and the body language of it.
The body language,
It was just everything, and we were just like in awe. I think that was one of the best performances of the night. And like I said, everybody said if they did a remake, your name better be the first that they call for that role. I'm about to tweet this back out, folks. I'm about to tweet this out again.
That would be awesome.
From your mouth to the universe, right?
Right?
That would be awesome.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
So,
all right. So I think I was in the middle of answering. I think it was Willie's question about stepping into Tyler's shoes, and I just finished saying that I admire him very much for the journey he's taken. And then as far as personally filling those shoes, Tyler's shoes are very, very large and full of a lot of character. And for me, it's always, for anybody, it's always a big task stepping into a role that somebody else has played because inevitably you're going to get compared. So the first thing you have to do is kind of be a goldfish and forget about that, right? And the second thing you have to do is look at the script and figure out how to play it honestly. And as long as you do that, I think the result will speak for itself. And that's all I did. I didn't watch, just like Hemingway, I didn't watch Tyler's performances, not because he's not great, he's immensely talented, but I didn't want to do an imitation of Tyler playing Stefan DiMera. That's, doing everybody on set a disservice, including myself. So it was just important for me to look at the script, to look at the scenes, break them down, play them honestly. And I know, if I do that, the rest will take care of itself.
Well, you made it your own very well. I'm impressed. We're impressed. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Is there any female on the show that you would like to link up with? Like, is there in a different aspect of romance?
I'm trying to think. Let's see. First of all, who is Jake not been, or Stefan? Let's see. They've been with Gabby. They've been with
Lauren.
Abigail / Gabby. Yeah. They've been with Kate. They've been with God, who else? Why am I blanking? I also don't know what I can say. I don't know I don't watch the show, so I don't know what's currently airing. So I'm not sure what I can say.
Ava.
Anyway.
Ava.
That would be a fun relationship to explore for sure, especially since they are, Jake is her former underling, essentially.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This is mob boss. So, and I'm trying to think who else is on the canvas that it would be fun. I don't know. I'm down for anything. If you watch my work, you can see I do my best to make every pairing work and find something that these characters have in common with one another. Be it if it's Gabby or if it's Kate.
Right.
It's my job to make it work. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Carolyn. Next up, we have David.
Hey, Brandon.
Hi, David. How are you?
I'm doing good, sir. I got a question for you. How have each of your leading ladies helped step up your game?
That's a great question. That's a really great question. Well, let's see. Camila is a firecracker, both when she's wearing Gabby's shoes and when she's not. So, with her, with anybody, but with her, it's all about just being present. And really, I know it sounds kind of douchey, but really just being present and just being there for whatever she throws you, because it's not going to be what you expect when you're reading the script. So that's always fun. With Lauren, it was kind of the same thing. She just would really, infrequently, she would give me what I was expecting, which as an actor, I love that because I want to be surprised. And, there's less acting involved when you can just be present with your scene partner. My goal is not to act when I'm on camera. It's to just be present and be honest and have a conversation. So I would say both of them. We really just being present with one another and know to expect the unexpected.
Oh, that sounds great. Thank you for...
the fans would kill us if we don't ask you to expand on the two Carlys. Sister Carly and once in a while Lover Carly from General Hospital.
Oh, right, Claudia.
Claudia,
right.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want to know? What do you want to know?
What did you learn from those ladies? Because they've definitely
that was another thing. Working with Sarah Brown, talk about a whole other next level of not knowing what to expect. She was great because and I was very green as an actor in those days, and so there were times where I feel like she would just do things to catch me off guard, which I love, and kind of would get me out of my head because when I first started General Hospital, I was definitely still in that young actor stage of being in my head. Every actor goes through that, and if they don't, they're either lying or they're a serious anomaly. Yeah, Sarah is just, I mean, you never knew what to expect with her. She was, and in a good way. She was all over the place in the best way possible. You know, if we were lucky enough, and this is something that I do as well, if we're lucky enough to get multiple takes, you know, she doesn't do the same thing from take 1 to take 2, or take 2 to take 3, or take 1 to take 3. They're all different, and that's a gift when you find an actor like that who kind of switches it up a little bit and keeps you on your toes. I love that.
You know, we're take 2, but we try to get it right on take 1. So
there you go. You do. Wondering why you weren't take 1. Was take 1 taken, or take 2 just you like the alliteration?
Well, it was because I used to host another show with somebody else, so this was kind of my take 2. That's
I love it.
Really all.
That's great. I love it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, David,
Very
your
nice.
second question?
Yes. So I just want to go, I want to tell you about that. For the past nearly 23 years, I've been an advocate for the disabled in my county. So
okay.
I want to know, how did you get involved with MD and Jerry?
Okay, good question. Those of you who don't know what MD is, it's muscular dystrophy, or MDA, the Muscular Dystrophy Association, and I became, kind of like my career, kind of involuntarily kind of immersed in the organization because my best childhood friend was afflicted with a very intense form of muscular dystrophy that affects children called Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And, you know, he was born in early 1980, and back then, when a Duchenne muscular dystrophy diagnosis was handed to a child, it usually meant the child would not live beyond, 10, 15, 20 years.
Oh.
If the kid moved into adulthood, it was a miracle.
Yeah.
And Chad sadly passed away when we were 18 years old.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you. And I made a silent promise to him and to myself that when I became successful enough to be able to have a platform to stand on, that I would keep fighting for him when he couldn't anymore. And so a very dear friend of mine in New York City, who's a publicist, she got wind of what I wanted to do, which was to sell my photography, because I have a hobby as I do photography as a hobby, and had never really thought about selling my work, and then thought one day, well, you know what, maybe I'll start selling my work and donating a portion of the proceeds to MDA. And so I did, and then MDA got wind of it and then made me one of their celebrity ambassadors, and then eventually I became an honorary national vice president for like 7 years. And sadly, the organization has undergone a lot of changes, and they got rid of a lot of people, or almost everybody as far as I know, that was really doing a lot of the nitty-gritty, dirty work to raise funds for them. And so I haven't been involved with them for a handful of years. But that's how I got involved. I lost my best friend, and when he couldn't fight, I promised him that I would.
Well, God bless you, Brandon.
Yeah, definitely.
No,
I'm sure he's smiling down at you and watching over you daily.
I sure hope so.
Do you still sell your artwork?
I haven't in a while. If people are interested, some of them know to DM me and say, hey, do you have this photo? Or, hey, I'm looking for something like this. What do you have in your stock? And so I used to have a website, and I haven't done maintenance on the website in years. I would like to get back to doing it because it is a passion of mine. I don't know if the iPhone's capabilities to really kind of mimic a DSLR camera at this point have kind of taken away that special feeling of holding a camera, but really nothing can replace the feeling of holding, a camera that's really top heavy with a massive lens on it. So I would like to get back into it. Yeah.
So your website isn't working. Too bad.
I don't think so. I don't know. Look, you can go on to it, BrandonBarashPhotography.com, and see if it is,
okay.
or if you want to, you can also contact me on Instagram. You may have to try a couple of times because my inbox can be kind of a shit show.
I can imagine.
Apologies if we can't curse on here, but
no, you
can.
can.
You marry me.
If you're
we'll
interested,
find you. We'll find you.
Yeah, you know where to find me on
yes.
Instagram for sure.
Yes, definitely.
Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for asking.
Thank you, David. Okay, so last but not least, actually got two more because Anthony's been asking questions in between. I forget he still has other questions probably. But we have Candace up next.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, Candace.
Okay, so I just looked up the website, and I'll be DMing you sometime this week about it.
Okay,
So,
great.
Just saying. And also, if it's a passion, continue it, because that's another part that makes you happy. And after the last couple of years, we need some happiness.
Right,
So.
I know. And you know what? Another thing I think that happened was I just started wanting to shoot my daughter all the time. And so, if I can just shoot her and photos of her, it makes me very happy. But yes, I agree with you, Candace. I need to get back into it.
Yes, because like I said, it makes you happy. So, okay. So I have two questions, and because I'm a teacher, I always ask our guests these questions. Well, not this first one, but this is a reminder that May 2nd is Teacher Appreciation Week. So,
awesome.
Just write that down in case, you need to have a reminder for yourself.
Yeah, all right.
But with that being said, which teacher was your favorite and why?
Whoa, that's a great question. Okay, that's actually easy for me. Because so my favorite teacher is a man by the name of Jim Wilson, and he's a college professor of mine. And so the way the program works at USC, and I'm sure a lot of the conservatory style programs work like this, that you have a small group of students, usually between 10 and 20 kids. Our class was 18. And every year, we had class every day with these same kids. And sometimes we would have professors over and over again. And so Jim we had when we were our first semester of our freshman year. I think we had him second semester. Then I think we had him again senior year and once or twice in between. Jim was the kind of guy, he's very kind of stoic. He has a 1,000-yard stare that would kind of make Clint Eastwood jealous, and the most intimidating presence, because he is a bullshit radar, and he day one could detect all of our bullshit, all of our individual bad habits, and call us out on them. And so we were all terrified of this man, terrified. And it took me some years to settle in. By the time we got to senior year, I felt pretty good being around him. And I just remember being in awe of him in his classes. I would just take copious notes, and all I wanted to do was make him proud. And which, as an actor, is not a really good headspace to be in. You want to do the work to do the work. And like I said earlier, just do the work honestly, and then the rest of the shit takes care of itself. So graduated college, and, we said goodbye. And then a few years later, out of nowhere, and this was right around when my marriage was becoming very, very rocky, he has this just innate ability to call me when things are tough. He just knows. Like, he and I, am convinced, we're kind of synced up. Anyway, he randomly called me one day and said, "How are you doing?" I said, "Well, do you want the honest answer? How much time you got?" And so I told him everything that was going on in my life, and my dad had started to get a little sick around then, and so he and I just developed this friendship. And he said something to me that really surprised me. He said, something about you from the moment you stepped into my class was special. And I've had a few students like that, and I try to keep in touch with them and always be there for them. And I've got nothing to get out of it myself, just being there for you and paying forward what teachers have given me in my life or what teachers didn't give me. And this man, he is not from this planet. He is the wisest, and I'm no hyperbole, he's the wisest being I've ever encountered in this life. And he's actually coming to my house on Sunday. And so we're still very close friends. He still is a mentor to me, and he was a game changer in my life and my career.
Aww. Great story. Great story.
I love those stories. That's what makes being a teacher the best, when you hear students and former students share those kind of stories.
Yeah.
It just makes
oh, absolutely.
Because I'm a child care teacher.
Okay.
So to hear those kind of stories, especially the last couple of years, it makes being a teacher worth it.
Yeah. 100%.
Like, it really gives you a sense of purpose. So.
Absolutely. And, my dad passed away suddenly 4.5 years ago. And, no one will ever replace my father, but Jim is the person I call now. If I'm really in a quandary about something, he's the phone call I make. And it's just, like you said, it makes it all worth it. You guys are not appreciated enough. You're certainly not paid enough. You deserve something more than a week on the calendar, for sure.
Amen.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you, Mr. Wilson, for teaching this young student about life. So, there you go. Make sure you tell him that.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. He's taught me more about life than he has about acting, for sure. And that's a compliment, because he knows a lot about acting.
And my second question, which is completely different from what I submitted, but my second question is, if you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
I just had this conversation with my daughter. I would be a shapeshifter, because you could be anything on the planet.
Yep.
Anything. You could be anywhere. Yep. You could be anything. You could also have any ability. So shape-shifting abilities kind of, trump all abilities, superpowers, because you can fly. You can swim to whatever depth you want to. You can do whatever the hell you want. So shape-shifting ability, for sure.
Good answer. I told the kids today in my class, because that was our circle time question, and I said,
Great
freeze
question.
time. Yeah, I told them, I said, I would love to freeze time. And they said, why? I said, because I don't want you guys to grow up yet.
Oh, yeah, right.
I want them to stay 2 years old. I have the 2-year-old going on 3, or as I like to say, going on 21 and over. Because apparently
it's such a special age, isn't it?
It's such a special age, and I'm just like looking at all these cute little faces, and I'm just like,
the best.
Oh my gosh, like, keep you guys like this age. And it's crazy, because I just ran into somebody that I had when she was 6 months old. She's now 13.
Awesome.
And I'm just like, woo! Like, she still calls, she says Aunt Candace instead of Miss Candace, because I've been in her life for so long. And I'm just like, wait a minute, like, she's wearing lip gloss now. And I'm like, lip gloss?
Oh, my God.
Like, no. Like, right. I'm just like, I'm just like looking at this young lady now, and I'm just remembering that I put her in the crib. I, taught her ABCs, and I just, like I said, I want to freeze time, because, they grow up so fast.
So damn fast. I know. Well, just talking these few minutes to you, those kids are lucky to have you.
Thank you.
Amen.
Yeah.
And thank you for answering my questions.
Of course, my pleasure.
Okay.
All right, I think
who's next?
It's the last but not least part now is Anthony. So go ahead, Anthony.
Okay.
I'm the cleanup. The cleanup body.
All right.
Well, before I get into my questions, you and I have met a couple of times. I want to throw this out to you, and I will not be offended if you don't remember me, but Pork Chuck and Super Soap were the encounters. I once told you that I love many, many, many soap characters, but I've only fallen in love with a couple of characters. And those scenes with you and Julie Marie Berman, y'all were on the run and you were playing the piano for her. And, well, I'm sorry, I know you're not Johnny. Let me just say that because I know it's so bad. You as Johnny were playing the piano and basically giving her your life story. And there was such magic in those scenes. So I'm kind of wondering if you remember.
But please don't be offended because I've met a lot of people over the years, and that was a long time ago.
I am absolutely not offended, but I wanted to tell you that again because there was something so special about just the chemistry between you all and you coming of age of that character. That was just amazing. Amazing. All right.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Thank you. You're so welcome. My first question is, since your first gig, the first time you saw yourself back to this point, what are the maybe 3 key moments in your career that have really changed the trajectory and made you the actor that you are now?
Wow, that's a great question. Well, I was first on TV in 1999, I think. I was an extra on Ally McBeal. That was my first television experience. Oh. And then, I would say the first big one is booking the Gilmore Girls in 2002. It was 2 months after I graduated college. I didn't have my SAG card. They took a chance on me and hired me as a non-union actor. And so, I don't know if you guys know how that works, but it's called a Taft-Hartley, where they basically say, okay, we recognize this guy's not union. We will pay a fine and get him his SAG card, essentially. And so they paid a fine so that I could be in their production. And that kind of started the trajectory off. I would say the second one would be General Hospital Johnny Zakara, because that was 5 years after I booked Gilmore Girls, and almost 5 years exactly, now that I think about it. I just now realized that. But it was 5 years after I booked Gilmore Girls, and that job allowed me to quit my day job, which was working retail. I worked at Nordstrom, and I worked there for a total of 7 years, 2 years while I was in college and 5 years after. So that was number 2. I bounced back and forth because they kept firing me because I would leave to film Gilmore Girls, and they just didn't like dealing with my shooting schedule. So I started out in men's sportswear, and then they let me go when I booked Gilmore Girls, and I went over to men's furnishings, which is like shirts and ties and cufflinks and all that shit, belts and, cummerbunds. And then I went back to men's sportswear eventually because that's where that was kind of my passion, at least in that store. I knew I could kind of sell to people in my sleep in that department. And so I bounced back and forth between sportswear, which is like casual wear, right, and furnishings. So that would be moment number 2. And moment number 3 would be when I had my daughter, Harper, because that kind of puts everything, having a child puts your whole life into perspective, and there's a real paradigm shift of priorities. And, for me, it became all about providing for my child at that moment. And here we are today.
Wow.
Anthony,
that's a great answer.
Let me interrupt you for just 1 second. We normally don't talk about personal things when we do interviews. We like to, we don't want to invade in people's privacy.
What's the fun of that?
But
See, Pam, I told you.
I don't care. You never know. But the one thing I want to say is that because you put it out there, it's not really personal, but it's personal out in the open. Your engagement video that you put out when you proposed, oh my gosh, if everybody was not crying watching that, I'm telling you, then you have no heart. Your daughter, oh my gosh.
Oh, it was the sweetest, wasn't it?
I'm
her
telling
reaction?
you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She just, she's in my heart. That was unbelievable.
Thank you. Well,
and thank you for sharing that too.
Of course, my pleasure. You know, she and Issa, they love each other. They had a relationship before we did. And so, you know, she was her Spanish teacher in a summer camp that she attended. And so it was pretty great to know that, you know, because when you're a single dad and you're dating, it's a very, it is just a quagmire of a minefield that you're walking. Because if your intentions are pure and there as a parent, as a father, to give your kid the best life possible, that weeds out a lot of the bullshit candidates that you would date, right? And, you know, it's just, and when, you know, Issa is her name, when Issa and Harper met and they fell in love, as it were, and developed a relationship, it was independent of Issa wanting to impress me by hitting it off with my daughter, right? I mean, you know, we didn't start dating for months after, you know, we first met. So it wasn't even a possibility then. So it was special to me that they had a relationship before we did. And Harper just, you know, would, even before, you know, we dated for a while and didn't tell Harper because another thing, being a single parent dating, you don't want to keep introducing your kid to partners if it's not serious and it's not going to last. So very, very, very few, I can count on one hand, less than one hand, people have met Harper. And we didn't tell her until we were absolutely certain that both of us wanted to see where this would go in a very serious way. And once we realized that, you know, we told her. But before we even told her, she would sit me down. You know, we'd be sitting at the breakfast table. She'd say, "Daddy, so you and Issa, you guys are friends, right?" And I'd say, "Well, yeah. I mean, you know, she works for us because, you know, surprise, surprise, she was the nanny." Because, I mean, she wasn't like our full-time nanny, but I hired her to do some babysitting because I had just fired the lady that I had working for us before. And so, you know, Harper would say to me, "Daddy, you and Issa, you would be so great together." And I said, "Well, what do you mean?" She's like, "Well, you guys should go out." I said, "How do you even know what that means?" Because she was 5. "Well, I've seen it on a TV show on Nickelodeon." "Oh, okay. So what does go out mean?" And, you know, she would tell me, she said, "You and Issa would be really great together." And so it was just really special that Harper was, you know, behind the scenes trying to be matchmaker the whole time, and little did she know. So, yeah.
I love that.
That is so awesome.
I love that.
Yeah.
You know, sidebar note, you know, you really are such a great dad from everything that you let us see. And, you know, you and Kirsten have done an incredible job. And it's great that you can still have a family kind of feel to everything. And thank you so much for sharing as much as you all share with us.
Of course.
So,
yeah, look,
you know,
I mean,
you opened that door
we're,
and I had to say it.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, you know, families look different. Families come in all different shapes and sizes, right? And, you know, you hit on it when you said, you know, you kind of are still a family. We are still a family. We just look a little different than the traditional family from the 50s, you know?
Right.
You know, we're all going to an amusement park together tomorrow. So it's, you know, it's not always easy,
Rock on.
but most of the time it is. And it's all about the kid, and everybody knows that. And once you can really and truly embrace that and set any ego bullshit aside, it becomes very simple. It becomes very black and white. Like, okay, this is for the child, and that's all that matters.
Number one.
Well, that's the perfect segue into my second question, because we're a different kind of family here at Take Two, and one of our family members, a.k.a. Miss Bubbly Candy, the teacher over here, wears a bunch of different hats. And one of the hats that she wears is producer, writer, and actress on a little ditty called Forever and a Day, I believe it's called. Candace, did I get that wrong by any chance?
Yes. Okay.
All right. So my question for you, Johnny, no, wait, not Johnny. What is it? Jake? No, not Jake. It's Brandon. Brandon, there we go. My question for you, Brandon, is, and it's a hypothetical one, but if a blushing fan / producer / writer wanted to get someone of the Brandon Barash caliber to maybe make a cameo appearance on Forever, what kind of steps should someone like Candace take?
I swear I did not know this question was going to be asked.
Nobody put me up to this. I do this all on my own.
I swear. I'm over here trying so hard. Like, you know how you're like in class and you're like, wait, why y'all picking on me? Like, I'm just ducking right now.
Well, it's got to go through my management team first, and you can find all of that on IMDb. But I'm very flattered, and thank you for thinking of me. But you can find all that information on IMDb. I'm not going to blast them out to the internet.
To the world. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I'm going to throw one more at you. Will you come back and talk with us again sometime?
Of course, absolutely. Yeah.
Yay.
Awesome.
It would be my pleasure.
Thank you, Anthony. And I want to thank you, Brandon, for joining us and giving us so much of your time and sharing some great stories with us. We feel we know you even more now. And would you be so kind as to share your social media so people can follow you and enjoy what we've enjoyed?
Sure. You can find me at Brandon Barash on Twitter, at Brandon J. Barash on Instagram, and also The Fathership on Instagram, which is a page that a very dear single father friend of mine, he and I both became single parents right around the same time. And we kind of dedicated an Instagram page to two young men raising women, two young men who know nothing about women of any age who are in charge of raising young women. So that's The Fathership, and you can find me there as well. Yeah.
Yes, we do enjoy that one as well. All right. Well, thank you again. We're glad that you were able to pay your gardener while doing the show.
Multitasker, you know.
Multitasking is the best.
Yeah.
You take care of yourself, and we'll talk again soon. And we'll definitely be watching what happens on days. Take care.
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
Well, that was fun.
We do have some really great interviews on this show.
Absolutely. I just adore him. Yeah, you guys need to, people out there listening, you need to go to his Instagram and watch the videos and stuff that, pictures and whatever that he posts. I mean, he does share a lot of his life with the fans, and not a lot of actors do that, so it's such a treat to be able to see outside their professional life who they are.
Very refreshing. Very refreshing.
And the Fathership page really is, it's a mix of cool, educational,
really
did that just happen? It's really, really a cool page.
Absolutely. So, wow. Okay, now that we have to catch our breath real quick here, let's go on to Dave.
I'm still getting over what Anthony asked.
I love you, girl.
That was nice of you.
Yeah,
and
you.
I didn't get to. I wasn't on last show, so I didn't get to congratulate you, Candace, on your win.
Thank you.
We're so proud.
Thank you. I'm still in a state of shock, and I already said when the award gets here to my house, I'm blowing up everybody's Instagram, Facebook Messenger, text messages with my photo shoot.
Yes, girl. Yes.
I'm gonna have my diva fan and everything. So prepare, people. Thank you.
Yeah. So I don't blame you one bit, but let's go on because
I was gonna do it.
Yeah. we got an hour left, and there's lots to talk about, especially on days.
Can we talk about the big news though about days?
We'll let Candace go first, and then she can get all the negativity out of the way, and then we can get to the positive.
No, it's not the negativity.
No.
I got to talk about
the big news.
There's one thing, the big news. I don't know where you guys were this week, but Days put out some big news. You know what? This was so big.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I heard everybody have a gasp, like, let me read this again. No, shut up reaction. Beyonce 2 is happening. It's happening, folks.
Yep.
Second season happens in July 11th on Peacock, okay? And we know that, the OGs, Mary Beth, Steven, Deidre, Drake are going to be there. That's great. Rob and Victoria are going to be there. Camilla's going to be there. No offense to them, because they are legends. I love them. But the shock came when they announced that Kristen Alfonso was coming back as Hope. Wait, that's one shock, right?
Yep.
The second one is something
more.
nobody thought would ever happen.
Ever happen. Yep.
Peter Reckle is back, baby. And it's coincidence that this month marks the anniversary of Kristen Alfonso as Hope Williams Brady. Yes.
Yeah.
And also when Peter Reckle came back today, second to early days. So there you have it, folks. We don't have to say anything else about Days. I think that's it. I think that's just cigar y'all.
Candy, Candy girl. There was one more little piece of one of the announcements that did not garner a lot of attention, but I followed up because, it's just me and I have to know. So I cannot share until the beginning of July who they are, but there are 4, 2 males, 2 females from past soap operas who are no longer with us who will be making cameo appearances in Beyond Salem. I'm sure. I don't know for sure, but I'm sure.
Yeah, that's just a rumor too.
They're not, no. That part's not a rumor.
No. I'm trying to tease the audience. Anthony, we're teasing the audience.
Teasing the audience. So if it happens to be like Todd and Blair. It's not Todd and Blair, I swear to God. But if it happened to be Todd and Blair, they won't be coming as Todd and Blair, but they'll be coming as couples to tease us and remind us of former soaps. I'm thinking we have Passion, Santa Barbara, what was the other one? Sunset Beach, Another World, all on the, so there's a lot of right in the family kind of that they can pull out of. But this is going to be a lot of fun. I am so excited about Beyond Salem.
Even Capital might get
the second
a nod.
Season.
Okay. And now for Days Voila. There's a wedding.
Take it, Pam.
There's a wedding with some fashion.
No. The honors have to go to Pam. They really do.
What?
Pam?
She's been waiting for this.
Give us.
Yeah, go for it.
Give us Monday.
Do it,
give us Monday through today, and give us that Pam, twist on it all.
Yeah.
Pam, did we lose you?
You guys were
Pam, are you there?
Today.
She's speechless.
Yesterday as well. But I think the bigger one was today because yesterday on Days when oh my gosh, what was her name? Who the woman that
Jackie?
Miss Jackie came to squeal on Leo. I something inside me told me that she was going to say they were married. And sure enough, that's what came out of her mouth or his mouth. I don't know, with being somebody that cross-dresses like that. I'm not sure how you say he or she. But it was, first let me say, Leo's outfit. Oh my God. Oh my God. I would expect nothing less. Nothing less.
I'm sorry, but, if Greg Reichart is not nominated, I don't know which category. I don't know if it's supporting or if it's guest, but if Greg Reichart is not nominated this year, then it's rigged, it's rigged, it's rigged. That's all I have to say on that. He's been so phenomenal.
This year.
Oh my God! Did he
fashion icon.
No,
yes.
He's an icon. He is the moment. He is the thing we're talking about. There you go.
Yep, exactly. So that wedding went off the rocks. At first, I thought that Craig was going to go ahead and forgive him, but then more and more spilled, and of course, we see that ended up being a no-go. And then today, oh my gosh, I know that the majority of us have been waiting for the downfall of Gwen, I being one of them. But at the same time, I still kind of felt sorry for her because all she wants is to be loved, but she just goes about it the wrong way.
She doesn't know how.
Aw, you fell for
I'm
it.
sorry.
Aww.
I have to do it. Ding dong, the bee is dead. Big baby, the wicked bee. Ding dong, that big bee got burst.
Shimmy. Anthony, do the shimmy. We got to do the shimmy. Shimmy.
Yes, go. Yes, go.
Shimmy.
Well, Marcy Miller's going out on a high note because the last couple of days, boy, when she went at Gwen today, oh wow, she was fantastic.
Yeah, she lit into. Oh yeah, I gotta say, we're in the middle of the payoff.
Tabby saved the day.
So,
Dad and Abby. If we're gonna do this, do it right, because this is what you call a soap wedding. This because you want the mess.
Non-soap wedding.
Well, it gave me. I'm gonna be honest. It gave me early '90s vibes where it was something that was going to. You knew something was going to happen, but it was like you had comedy. Because my thing is, why is everybody getting married in the town square and not a church? Okay. Just asking for a front. Then you had the shade with Bonnie and Nancy, right?
Yeah.
And by the way, I was glad Nancy did show up. Like, everything aside, they still have a bond, Leo. Look,
I don't think you should say any more. I think that just says it right there.
That really much says it.
I know Dave did not have the rights to it, but in my mind, if anybody else was playing this song, our listeners, if you were playing this song, you understand. I had RuPaul, you better work, cover girl, work it. I really had that in my head.
Me too, girl.
Thank you. Because I'm like, he has the photographer doing the whole, because that's a new thing, too. It's the photographer do a 360 of you. And I'm like, and I'm looking at the outfit, and I'm like, yes. I'm like, yes. Like, yes. Even though I'm not supposed to like Leo. I'm like, yes. I felt like I was on a fashion runway show or something. But
I'm good, Candace. Before you go into anything else, I have to step in and do this. I don't put my LGBTQ plus hat on very often, but I have to tell you from the gay male perspective, and I'm thinking back to how I would have felt when I was 19, how I would have felt when I was 25, how I felt when I was 30. I'm not going to add any more numbers. Y'all are not going to know my true age, but okay. All I have to say is the thing that was in my head was, oh my God, girl! gay boy who's like trying to figure things out and all that and thinks they can't talk to anyone, but then they see this. And even if they're not Days of Our Lives fans, trust me, they will find out that this happened and they will go to YouTube and stuff. This just made every little scared, still in the closet gay boy scream with utter delight. And it was so fabulous. I'm sorry I hijacked you, Candy, but I just had to say that because it just was like, work. Go on.
It was see, this is the times that I really miss those. I don't know if you guys remember Talk Soup on E.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. To come on. Yes. There's times I wish that show was still on because I'm pretty sure that would have made the list. That would have been on. Yes. Because seriously, like that was like I said, it was a moment that we're talking about. I mean, other moments happened too, but that was the moment. I was like. And you could tell Eric Marksoff, by the way, hi, Eric, he broke. Because when he looked down, I don't think that was in the script, because I saw that laugh. I know it wasn't scripted. I was just like, how did everybody else keep a straight face?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I expected the crazy suit, but I did not expect that veil. I mean, that was perfect.
I didn't expect the veil.
That was perfect.
I thought
you
there was going to be a veil.
I had a feeling he was going to. I mean, it's Leo. He's going to do everything above and over and beyond. Literally.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like Gwen's dress. By the way, Gwen's dress. It was really nice. Uh-huh.
It was very pretty. Yes. Very pretty.
Yeah. You notice I did I'm doing this. If y'all can see my face right now when I said that, I'm like, yeah, Gwen, it's really nice. Like, this one.
You know what my mama told me? If you don't have anything nice to say, go ahead.
Don't.
Well, back to Gwen's redemption. Back to Gwen's redemption. I don't think there is any, because did everyone catch when she whispered into
to Abby's ear?
Abby's
ear. Did you see that?
Yep.
Wait a minute. Let me stop you all right there. Did she say, because I wasn't sure, but did she say I killed your grandmother on purpose?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I thought so.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. And now here's where Candace has a rant. Even though this happened, a year ago? A year ago to almost the date, right? I have been one person who's been on Ron and company's butt on Twitter, on here, and everywhere else about if they're ever going to reveal what really happened that night or whatnot. Because I felt like it was a fallen plot. Because I was like, so y'all killed Laura Horton for no reason. Like, I need explanation and everything. Okay, Ron, I give it to you.
Accident. Yeah, she said it was
an accident. She said she did it out of spite. She did it out of spite.
We all knew. Yeah, we all knew.
But I'm going to be honest, because I felt as though, first and foremost, Pam fell for it, you guys. Give her a round of applause. Pam fell for I felt a little sorry for Gwen. Yeah, because here's the thing. They've been trying to push Gwen.
Real quick, and Pam, you're 2 for 2, by the way. We love you. We love you with all our hearts. But you're 2 for 2.
Yeah, we do.
Peter and Gwen are gone.
You know, like, the thing is that they've been trying to make Gwen, and I said this even before they were going to do it. I saw it like I saw it a mile away. They were going to try to make us viewers feel some kind of sympathy for Gwen because of what was going on with Laura knowing the truth about Jack and her, and how she wanted daddy's love, and how she wanted to be the treated child, all that blah, 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 tear.
Well, let me just say something. Like I said, I kind of felt sorry for her, but when she said that last line that she killed grandmother on purpose, I lost all feelings of sympathy for her.
Yeah, no, that was all.
Real quick, but that's the wonderful thing about soaps. It is because Candace and I watch it just it's a game for us. We strategize. How much can we figure out before it gets unreal? Do we go back and tweak, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? We're playing on every next move. you, Pam, you watch it with experience. I'm taking it as it's happening now. I remember the past, but I'm not going to say what's going to happen next week. And that's the beauty of soaps. We all come to it differently.
Mhm. Because I'm just like, woo, like, okay, like, she finally, like, so it's revealed. So now it's like with me personally, I was like, okay, dang, all right, she did it. And I know I'm supposed to feel like, oh, my God, she finally admitted. But half of me feels like, okay, she revealed it. Okay. Now what? Because I look at the fact like, all right, Jennifer's relationship with Gwen is sort of, I don't know, kumbaya because of Christmas, and I had an issue with that. Obviously, Jack and her relationship is going to be in cahoots, is going to be in turmoil and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, hashtag justice for Laura, but I just feel as though, like, well, okay, she did it out of spite. Okay, that shows you that Gwen is that girl that she, they're trying to give her back her villain, persona and stuff. Kudos. But I really did not feel anything when she admitted that. I was just like, oh, okay. Now what? What y'all going to do? Hey, what you going to do, girl? What you going to do?
I felt nothing.
Like your alter ego coming out? Yeah, like, is your alter ego going to come out? Like, y'all going to start something? Like, what's going on? Because I need something. But if y'all did, y'all enjoy, like I said, everything else was fine. I liked everything else, but it's just that part. I just was like, okay.
Yeah, but
I have a question for all of you.
Ron's very clever. It's going to reveal itself, but not on our time. That's what's frustrating. It's not going to be on our time. It's going to be on his.
And all soaps work like that.
Wait, hold up. Because I've been trying to say this for a minute. You're right, Carolyn. You are absolutely right. But what's frustrating is he just set up the classic Ron story, and I'm telling you exactly what's going to happen. Abigail is going to have a couple of chances to say something, but for whatever reason, she's not going to be able to say it, and then something's going to happen, and she's not going to be able to say it at all, and it's going to drag out. And
right.
And that was this is so classic Ron.
Yeah, I find that once you kind of zero in on what he's doing, I find him very clever. I know the fans don't like the double story. I look at it as very campy. I loved Tony last week in the crypt as Andre. I mean, his acting that day was just to me was priceless. He's bringing out.
Yes, I agree with you there.
That was Andre. That wasn't Tony.
Yes. That cynical, that sinister side. I mean, because he's been kind of mamby-pamby, and now he's showing his chops. And I appreciate the actors and what they're doing. The storyline, the devil and blah 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 blah. But I look past. For me, I look past it. It's campy. It's funny.
Well, it was okay. It was okay for a while, but it's dragged on way too long. And I just need it to be over with. That's it. Move on to something else.
Yeah. The fans today said, "Oh my God, Johnny's been in the crypt for how long? Oh, it's
right."
Gotta be really
and no one's looking for him.
Are his arms not getting tired?
Oh, that too. Well, look how long Drake was in there too.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to say one more thing about the wedding before we move on to something else. Xander's reactions were priceless.
Oh, he's phenomenal. He was oh my God, the expressions on his face, and his face was white. I mean, I don't know whether they did the makeup or whatever, but you could see
I don't
all
know.
the blood.
That's what I was thinking.
Draining out of his body. Oh my God.
Along with his heart.
Were priceless.
Along with his
heart.
Yeah. It was so devastating to the two women that he falls in love with, breaking his heart like that back to back. Although we know Sarah didn't actually do it. It was Gwen, but still, he at that time thought it was Sarah. So, I don't know if he's going to be able to get into any kind of relationship for a very long time will revert to being the bad guy again because he's so upset and mad and hurt. You know what I mean?
Right.
Unless they find a way to work him into the Sarah storyline.
Yeah, well, we don't know how long she's going to be gone, you know?
Yeah.
No.
Watching Marcy say about and unfolding everything, and I think this mask idea, I mean, it's crazy, but I don't know. I think I find Ron very clever. I mean, when she was and there was Xander listening to all this, and he was saying that was you? That was you when you were rejecting me? I mean, it was classic. I found it was very classic.
I'm sorry, but it was written riveting. The intensity that was in the writing, and then the actors, of course, took it exactly where it needed to be.
Right.
It was riveting to watch, even though most of us knew basically all of what was going to happen. Candace is right. There was no actual, even to the whispering of, yo, I killed Granny. There was really no like, wow, oh my God, this is, you know, if she would have said, I wanted to kill your Granny, but somebody else got it there before me, and I know who it is. You'll never know. That would have been like, whoa, days. But okay, I got off the train of my thought for a second. The writing and the acting did make it riveting to watch, whether or not you were like flat about what was happening. The performances, the intensity was great.
Yeah, and Gwen really crying. I mean, you like her heart was really, really broken because she had been busted, you know, and knew that she was losing everything, including her father, her sister, or, you know, her fiance, and everybody.
Her whole
you know,
life.
she was her whole life.
Her life.
I mean, you felt all of that. So she definitely took it to the top on that.
Emily O'Brien has definitely grown as an actress on Days. I mean, she was a little young.
I remember her back on The Young and the Restless.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And so now to see her, and I tweeted this out earlier. I said, I know, you know, the daytime Emmys are, you know, in June this year, but next year, Emily O'Brien, I think today, based off of these performances, Homegirl, I see you in supporting. I see you in supporting actress, honey. And if Ken Corday, I know you listen to the show. Emily O'Brien, submission today.
Yes.
Today's episode is part of her reel, okay? We'll talk later, but today, Emmy,
she definitely brought it. I mean, it was a better, bigger fallout than it was for Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
It was.
Yes.
Much.
This had more weight. This had more weight.
This had more investment from from the audience.
Time,
Yeah.
Because it's been like, okay, how is all this going to be revealed? Who's going to do it? And yes, this was such a throwback to when, you know, Gwen outed stuff at what was it, Jack and Jennifer's wedding, and all that stuff. That Abby was the one to do it. And because, like I said, I always had an issue about, you know, for that girl to go and ask Abby, well, Rick, this is. And Daddy think this is like great for us to bond if you're not maid of honor. Okay, girl, you're doing too much. So I'm glad Abby busted you. Chad, you the man. You the man. You the man.
Chad,
and always nice to see.
And it
nice
involves it involves so many people. It involves like when Jennifer.
No, you know what this.
Sarah,
you know what this really was.
Yeah.
This was a throwback to the old Soap Majesty events. Because every soap event had the main stage and they had the opening act. And they were weaving all of their storylines through them so that no matter what storyline you were invested in the current year of the soap opera, you were going to be here for this because something was going to happen everywhere. They had the opening act with Leo and Craig, and the main event was all about Xander and Gwen. Yep.
Yeah. And it's something Days does. It's like you know, all the soaps do double weddings, but Days in the last, because I'm thinking about when, you know, Tabby and when what was it, Paul and Sonny, Paul and Will.
Right.
Paul and Sonny, when they were getting married, and you had Ben come back, as a serial killer, that triggered Abby, and then the whole thing with Paul and them. Like I said, this one was an ultimate throwback to the old school. You had the mess, you had the comedy, you had the moments that we're still going to be talking about. I'm telling you, Leo's outfit we'll still be talking about that at the end of the year.
No, but every day's retrospective that they do going forward, Leo just became the Lucy Coe from General Hospital.
Right, exactly, with the red wedding dress.
They will forever show this clip.
Yes.
And so anything soap opera, retrospectives, they will forever show that clip. He just became soap opera history.
Before we go, when Jackie Cox came in, right, and see, this was a treat for me. When she said, "Hold my purse, Mary Poppins," I was done. I'm done. I said, okay. I said, I'm gonna bet some money on who wrote that line. And I tweeted it out, and I said, if that person wrote that, I said, I caught that. And again, I know some people.
JG?
I think, I would be honest, I think it might have been Ryan Quaid, because Mary Poppins is a jam. This is, but this is the thing. I know some people, like you said, they was like, well, who is this Jackie Cox? And I was like, Jackie was from Beyond Salem. So the Chad, Leo, Jackie stuff, not all Days fans understood. So I was like, now that's going to be that's interesting. I said, so hopefully everybody was watching Beyond Salem to understand the gist of Leo and Jackie's relationship.
It creates interest. It creates interest, and it's clever because they're saying, where did this person come from? And it's promotion. It's seduction. And they're going to say,
you know how I would have done it.
Salem.
You know how I would have done it.
They're going to go back and look now.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
As soon as Jackie came in, right?
Real quick, how many clicks they're going to get now because people are going to go back and watch that never watched it. So very smart for them to do it this way.
That's true too.
And you know what I'm thinking? Because I don't know if they did. But if it was me, I would have done this. Like, okay, you've seen her. Now understand the story. Go to Beyond Salem on Peacock.com or to stream it. Dave, I'll hook you up with your PR too. Good. I'm on a roll.
No, I think it's so clever. Catch and release.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, before we move on, there's a certain guy that's back in town. Real quick, his name is Eric.
Oh.
Shall
I cue up the theme from the Thorn Birds?
Yes. Pam, you're in charge of music.
I don't have
Eric's
music
back.
on here.
He's
we can't
back.
play music on here.
I can. Wait, hold on.
Wait.
I'm not going to sing it. Y'all were supposed to back me up with that. I get lost in your eyes. I do get lost in his eyes. Seriously, I do. I understand. But sadly, I have a feeling where they're going to put Eric at, and I'm just going to be like shaking my head. But I'll be there for it. So I'll be there for it.
Okay, we got 30 minutes left.
Real quick. According to the rumors, somehow Eric is going to try to help restore Gwen, and Gwen has something on Eric. I really, 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 really hope that's not true. I do not want to sit through that.
I have 2 ways to go with Eric. Either you're going to have him around Sarah because of what Sarah drew. Eric is, because remember, baby Sarah had a crush on Eric back in the day. And then I heard about it
the other week. Yeah, she was.
I was like,
book. The coloring book.
I was like,
and Eric.
By the way, Lindsay Godfrey, another person I put in for my Emmy pick next year. Or this year. This year, next year. Both years. Why not? All right.
Let's go to General Hospital.
No. We're going to Young and the Restless because I feel ripped off.
Oh,
go ahead, girl. Go ahead.
Why?
Oh.
Come on,
I
girl.
do too.
Tell it.
I didn't tell you today.
Tell it, Pam.
I'm so mad. I mean, first of all, you know, that Jordi Villasuso was let go. Even though he did not have an immense storyline, which, of course, they could have fixed. They could have fixed, okay?
Yes.
Yes, they could have, should have.
But
she's only getting one, girl. Come on now, get her.
If they were going to let him go, he could have went back to Florida or whatever. But to kill him off screen.
Oh.
Yep.
Well,
do I need to say more? I'm so mad.
I'll do it.
Because Bold and the Beautiful could have picked him up and said,
exactly.
Maybe you'll go back to
Jefferson. I agree.
Oh, my God. Thank you. Go ahead, girl. And I'm sorry, Victoria. If I'd have to be a woman. All right, but if I was in Genoa City, I would pay someone to slap you back into who you are supposed to be. All right, I'll shut up now, Candace.
I'm going to be honest. Look, I'm over here doing my, dance, right? Even though I agree, I don't think they should have killed off Ray. And, you know, I understand Sony budget cuts and all that stuff, but nonetheless, y'all could have had Josh and crew, y'all could have had a better solution for this. You could have had him go over to Bold. You could have had him go to Florida.
Anything would have been better than this.
Anything like that. Because here's the thing, and I know how you're setting this up. I saw it today. And let me just say this real quick. Sharon Case, you're back into the Emmy fold, honey. Welcome back home, girl.
Yeah. That girl knew.
Oh, I got to see
that girl
that,
knew.
She
knew that whole time.
Yes, she knew when she did not get the response from the phone. One. Two, this girl has been through something like this before with Cassie. This is the second person she's lost because of a car accident. Three, let me tell y'all something. Okay.
Well, don't forget her other daughter, too, was in the car accident. So, I mean, that's two car accidents, personal.
But you got to remember that because of the car accidents, two of them died. So you got Ray, and then you had Faith.
Right.
Let me tell you something. Young and Russell, please don't make me regret saying this. In the last couple of weeks, you showed me that you are the Young and the Rustlers. You told me that this show is what I grew up watching. The acting has been stellar. Again, like I said, this is not about fandom, because I saw that on Twitter and everything about Chic, and this is about performance. So Joshua Morrow, okay, and him being the one to tell Sharon, and like you said, she already knew.
Yeah.
Deep down in her soul, she knew something was wrong.
You saw like an onion, layer by layer, coming on her.
Right.
Yeah.
You were waiting for every action.
Just by the look on her face.
Right.
Yeah,
but then go back. Peel it back. Let's go back before even Sharon knew. Let me tell you about Robert Newman. Robert Newman, Emmy nomination too. He showed all of y'all, for those who never watched Guiding Light, that this is a man who is well-oiled, well-trained, and can act circles around certain people. Okay?
Absolutely.
His performance as Ashland, you kind of feel sorry for him in this situation too, because this is how his friend died. Remember? His friend died in a car accident. You know, this is all about car accidents today. So, but also you see, even though he got caught by the Newman family, because you don't mess with the Newman family. Oh, no, you just don't do that. But when he got caught, you can tell he also has feelings for Victoria. Like, legit. Even though he played her, he does have some kind of feelings for Victoria. Victoria, girl.
I agree. But that doesn't change my opinion on Victoria.
Well,
yes, I agree with you there. Go on.
I'm glad that she kind of did something that she has not. She actually did stick to her guns a little bit. She did come up with a plan. Yes, it involved Adam, because here's the thing, and I get in trouble for saying this all the time. Adam always takes this bait of when Daddy gives him the branch, right? Adam takes it. It's like, yay, I'm the favorite child. Woo! But you know Victor is going to take it from you at any given moment. So I like that Victoria had a plan to have Adam be the one to do all this. I actually enjoyed, for a brief second, Adam and Victoria working together to try
to yes, I agree with you on that. Yes.
Out. Now, Victor C. Newman. Okay, he knows BS when he sees it too. Oh my God, I love this storyline so much because it was. I think it was said where somebody said, could Victoria and Ashlyn be the next Victor and Nikki? No, that's a no. They ain't gonna happen. But you can see Victoria kind of also struggling a little bit. And the thing is that based off of her relationship and everything, she doesn't know whether she is really in love or because somebody played her. She's been played before, but she doesn't know what to feel right now. So, yeah, she was probably going to go back to work and acting all normal because work is her thing. It's like whenever she goes through a traumatic experience. Yeah,
it's her shield. It's her costume. Yes.
It's her costume. Like I said, the fact that, because I had some questions about that car accident. Okay, so somebody clarify this for me. Ashlyn was behind Victoria, right?
Right.
And then a car in the other lane came towards Victoria and made her swerve.
Yes.
So my question is, why was Ray? So y'all remember these classes where they tell you like if the car was in lane A, why was this car in lane B? I have a question. So from my mental picture, Ray was in the wrong lane. Why was Ray in the wrong lane? If it's
we don't know why he went into the wrong lane.
But
it might have been
because when I heard that and everything, I was like, okay, but yeah,
this is one of those situations that when we find out the full truth, we'll find it out from someone else's recollection, and there'll be more that happened before what we saw, and that'll explain all of it.
I'm going to call it
how
now.
they write.
I'm going to call it now. Why do I think Chelsea has something to do with it?
Oh my God, that's exactly what I thought.
Why would you think Chelsea?
Because the Victoria Adam mini alliance, even
no, it's not that. I feel as though because of Sharon. You got to remember, Chelsea and Sharon, right?
Oh, yes. Yes.
Because of Adam. And because, remember, now all of a sudden Chelsea started to, quote unquote, like Ray. That's because Ray was with Sharon. I know. I don't know. Like, I'm hoping I'm wrong, but for some reason, I'm like, ooh, what if Chelsea sabotage or something? I don't know. I need an autopsy report. Somebody. Oh, who's the new detective then?
Chance.
Or even Chelsea called him and he got distracted.
I don't know. I mean, it could be a million different reasons. It could be something simple. It could be something that's yet to come out.
Right. I wonder if we're going to see.
No, the way they left us, it's definitely going to be that it's something that has to come out.
Right.
Yeah. We don't see the full picture.
Because even when Victoria, Ashlyn was like, yeah, the other car didn't make it, went into the ditch, and the other person that was right. I was like, ooh, Victoria, that was nothing because you and Sharon are not sisters anymore, so technically, nope.
Nope.
But I'm telling you, this is the last couple of episodes of Young and the Russells, y'all. Don't sleep on it. Don't sleep on it.
Nope.
Oh my God, Diane Bacon.
I have so many problems with this story, except I'm still loving it. I'm loving it,
but I feel as though we forgot something.
But I love it. I am so willing to just shut all the questions that make no sense, make no kind of sense in my head, because I'm loving the story.
Even though this is about Diane, so we forgot about chemo already? Like, that was just nothing?
Yeah.
I need more clarity about chemo.
Yeah, I want to see more Allie.
I think we're going to get more chemo because there's going to be something that Diane has on Allie.
Allie better be a con. That's what I want her to be. I don't want Allie to be a sugar cone, spicy, not spicy, but rainbows, unicorns, and Lucky Charms.
Ding, 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 Candace. That's.
I get my wish because I've been asking for it. I need somebody to compete with Summer. I need somebody to compete with Summer and not know, oh, this is a dream. Oh, I don't need that anymore. I'm done with that.
Let me tell you, this character is going to turn into, if Young and the Restless had written the character of Nell, that's what Allie's going to be.
You think so?
I do. There's a way that soaps write new characters, and the way she's been so far, you know, she's too one-dimensional. She's almost like a hologram, you know, a programmed personality. That is always the distinction, that there is a psychopath feminine underneath. Candace, am I right or am I wrong?
True that.
This girl is going to cause lots and lots of trouble.
We only have 15
All
minutes left.
right. Bold, real quick. Steffi, amnesia, thinks Liam's her husband. Oh, boy.
Tell me nobody can call that before it even happened.
We said it last week, didn't we?
I said it since last. I've been calling it.
We said it last week.
Yeah.
We knew it a long time ago. I mean, it's so, oh my God.
It's a soap trope, folks. And
soap trope?
When I tell you, I see people.
But you think that's going to be long term?
No.
You really think it's long?
Not long term, but this is going to be. No, this is going to be a very twisty, turny, intense, but not long term storyline.
You heard it here on Take Two Radio.
I'm on board.
You heard it here on Take Two Radio.
Yeah, y'all know us. We've been getting it right all the time. I'm just saying.
That's right. That's right.
Go back.
Something's going to snap. Listen, let me say it right now. Let me say it right now. Something's going to snap her memory back into reality. I'm going to say 2.5, 3 weeks from now. And then they're going to give us a storyline where she has to privately grieve in because she knows and understands exactly what happened, but she doesn't want to give up where she is right now. So she's going to play two versions of Steffi. Candace, tell me you weren't thinking the same thing.
Oh, my thoughts were kind of different on that. I was thinking that, you know, maybe Steffi's going to remember soon, maybe not, but I think Sheila might kidnap her or something because, of course, she doesn't want Steffi to tell the truth. And that's going to be Jacqueline's chance because she'll probably be on maternity leave soon.
Well,
that is
still
true,
filming.
Maternity leave.
She was still filming. This girl is going to do like she did kind of like last time. So, like the last day. She's probably going to go pops, like, okay, I finished the scene. There's a couple of things because, again, Steffi has been traumatized. Like, seriously, she saw her husband get shot, y'all. Like, there's, you know, and she got shot herself. And the thing is that, you know, she is going to put up a front because she doesn't want to deal with it. And I think a lot of us have gone through that, where we're just pretending everything is fine, but privately we're going to have that moment of, oh, my God, like, you know, especially when she sees Hayes.
I think she's going to reject him.
Yeah, because you saw, for those who saw today, y'all saw how she looked at Kelly.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like, wait a minute. You know, wherever she is, Kelly was still a baby. Now this girl is 5. Right. By the way, the new Kelly debuted today. Hey, girl. Did good, girl. She did good.
She's adorable.
She is so cute. So it's going to be a lot to process because and I saw people like freaking out. They was like, oh my God. Okay, first of all, it ain't like Steffi is saying, come on, Liam, let's have sex right now. No, she's right now, she's in a mental state where she's blocking out that trauma, you know.
Right.
This is what soaps do, folks. Sorry, I don't know if you're new to soap. Welcome to soap. Nothing is happy. Nothing stays happy for so long.
That's true.
You're going to get hurt if you ship a couple. Guess what?
People are never really dead. New people to
people
soap.
aren't really happy
Understand this.
soap.
People are never really dead. They will come back multiple times.
Well,
they will have their head chopped off, and they will pop back up into town 2 years later with an explanation.
Wait a minute. Some people stay dead because the show either can't recast the role, Lexi on Days of Our Lives, and kids grow up. 1 minute they're precious 5-year-olds, and then in 6 months they're 17-year-olds. Just saying. They go to boarding school in Switzerland. I don't know what's going on in Switzerland. Some kind of growth serum. I don't know. But that's what happens on both. But yeah, Sheila and Taylor, new couple, new friendship. Yeah. Shayla, the kids are calling them Shayla. What do we think about this?
I love it. It.
It's a new wrinkle.
No, it isn't. I told you last week this is what was going to happen. I told you last week this is what was going to happen. It's not a big... No, I'm kidding. No, but I'm loving it. I saw it coming, and I said, yes, do this. Because it is going to be so juicy. And I don't know.
When all this comes out.
It's not going to be May, though. They're going to drag this out a while. But it's going to be so juicy.
They drag it to... See,
November, probably.
The difference between the Devil storyline and this is that, the Devil storyline was very good. But then after a certain point, it was like, ooh, child. But with the Sheila Taylor friendship, giving the history and knowing the payoff when all of it comes out.
You just bought 10 tickets to the ride, didn't you, girl? You just bought 10 tickets to the ride, Candace, right?
Carolyn,
go ahead.
All I want to know is where's Jordy going?
Well, I saw somebody say that Rafe's brother should come back, so maybe hopefully Days.
Really? Oh, okay.
Well, somebody, one of the fans saying Rafe's brother should come back, so that would be cool.
I think I also saw somebody asking if he should go on an audio podcast. I don't know who put that out there. I did.
Mm.
Didn't do it. No, I do want to see.
He should do the publicity round. Come to Take Two Radio. We'd love to talk, Jordy.
That's right.
Yeah, Jordy, you can come back here. I'm pretty sure
we want the inside story.
There's one of us.
We better tweet that out.
And there might be a small part for you on Forever.
There you go.
I will say that has been put out there. You know what? I wouldn't actually mind seeing Jordy on General Hospital. I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah.
But
Really?
I can see.
Really?
With Sam.
Why not?
With Sam. Oh, my God, with Sam.
Mm.
Yeah, there's sites out there they're saying is Jordy the new Jason.
Really?
Oh, God, no.
Yeah.
Really?
No. That could never, ever work.
True.
Okay.
I didn't say it was true. I said there are sites out there.
Okay.
She knows soaps. She does never knows the soaps.
Wait a minute. I just want to point out, 20 days ago was April 1st, right? This is no April Fools. Y'all April Fools really fools. I can actually see him on General Hospital as either Juan. Remember Juan?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Remember Juan?
Yeah.
I can see him as that, or who else? Somebody else
too.
Yeah, like a new character. I could see that. Romancing the ladies. Get Elizabeth away from sin. Did I say that out loud? I am so sorry, y'all. I forgot. This is live. But
you heard it on Take Two Radio. But we got to go on to General Hospital.
I was just going to say we've got 10 minutes left, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, David, you have hardly spoke tonight. What's up with you in General Hospital?
What's up with me in General Hospital? Not very much. I'm just enjoying it as it is. I mean, there's Austin and Maxie starting. Right now,
you are
today
so
was
nice.
like a state of flux.
Yeah,
so
let me ask this because, I mean, you guys probably have talked about it, but as you know, I haven't been on. Who is haunting Elizabeth?
Yeah, Candace.
What did you say? We don't know.
At this point, I don't even know. Like, there's been so many theories about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
We saw where she had like kind of a vision that looked like Franco.
Mm-hmm.
When I say a shadow, it was like a shadow of Franco saying, "Don't forget about me." And I started playing that song in my head. It was a man.
Yep.
There's, people saying DID and all that stuff. But today on General Hospital, because Chase has been assigned to her. God bless you, Elizabeth Weber, for having that, okay? But Chase was found full alert, unconscious. So I don't know if it's a split personality happening. I don't know what's going on at this point. All I know is Elizabeth Weber has a storyline.
Well, I think,
Well, it's
whatever it happens and whoever it turns out to be, I'll have to say this is one of their better storylines in a long time because it has kept us on our toes.
Right.
Thank you, Pam. I agree 100%. It brought in Cuckoo Betsy. We had a little bit of fun with her.
Yeah.
We got to see the boys come out of the attic. They were around, although they've been shipped off to Grandma Laura's, so we probably ain't going to see them again for another year.
Jake.
We did see Aiden, or was it Jake or Aiden today?
Aiden. Yeah, we saw Aiden
okay,
today.
that's what I was going to say. We did see Aiden today with the seance with Chase, and he was asking, Franco, are you here? Do you have something to tell me? I thought that was so cute.
I thought that cute.
And then Chase ended up on the floor, knocked out. So,
yeah.
Honestly, this is fun. It's a classic. It's a classic kind of pull it out. Don't give you all the information. Make you really work and enjoy watching the plot. I'm actually enjoying it. Now,
I am too.
This whole busting Victor, they have built it up so far that nothing, whatever the story is, it cannot possibly be an explosive payoff at this point, unless it comes with some kind of shocking Tony Geary, either Fluke or Luke. You bring him back as Fluke, and we're going to go back to divorce proceedings, General Hospital. But okay, I'll still watch though, even if it is Fluke. Return to General Hospital.
But
otherwise, they have built this thing up so big.
Yeah,
they can't possibly have a payoff.
That doesn't make sense because for it to be Luke, because why would he go after Elizabeth like that? I don't understand that.
No, I don't think he's going after Elizabeth. I'm saying if he comes back as part of the Victor storyline.
Oh, okay. All right, yeah.
No, but what I'm saying is they built up taking down Victor so big. It was the weather machine.
Right.
There was a hot couple of days in Port Charles. It's been so many things, the cable car, et cetera. There's some kind of cult going on because they're fighting for a cause. They built it up so big that whatever the payoff is has to be big.
Yeah.
And Jennifer,
I agree. I definitely hope they don't disappoint on that. Now, let me ask you this. What's going on with Valentine being part of that?
I think we all know Victor.
Pardon?
I think he might be trying to snow Victor.
But why would he set up Jennifer then?
I don't know.
They're gonna have to do some. I'm sorry, I'm on that side too. They're gonna have to do some fancy tap dancing to make me believe that there was something legitimate about that. The only explanation is he's working with Victor.
The only explanation,
right.
I for some reason I think that's not him. I don't think that's the real him.
I'll go with that.
You don't
think
it's
real
who?
You think they borrowed the mask maker from Days of Our Lives? Candace,
I wouldn't be
you
surprised.
think they borrowed the mask maker from Days of Our Lives?
Maybe. You know, I wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
I really wouldn't, because I'm just thinking of the scenario. I'm just like, okay, 1 minute Valentine is like here, and then he throwback to the mustache from when he first showed up, and I was like, go ahead, James, go ahead with the throwback. But I'm just like, it does have something to do with this Ice Princess. But I'm just like, I don't know if this is really him, or what. I'm not too sure yet where this. I have to do some more investigation.
Well, I would agree with you on that, but the way he looked at Anna and the way he kissed her, to me that was Valentine.
Unless it's if it's a double.
Oh, that could be too. Maybe it's Luke with a mask on.
Or maybe he got implanted. Maybe his mind got implanted with something. It's General Hospital. Maybe someone hooked him up to one of Dr. Mattis's mind machines and put some evilness in there and programmed him. You know, all they got to do is flash the wrong tarot card at Drew, and he's going to become a mega massacre person.
Drew.
So this Valentine, maybe
don't forget we had the mask
God.
on there as well. Besides, Days of Our Lives, General Hospital had the mask first.
Oh yeah, we remember.
Mm-hmm.
Luke, everybody get a mask. I swear. Young and the Russells. Oh, you already had a mask, Young and the Russells. Bo, don't do no mask. Bo.
The new normal. The new normal, guys. The new normal.
The new. No, we ain't gonna do no. No, but I'm just like, I'm interested in Elizabeth's story because I'm hoping they build it up, because Becky is celebrating 25 years this year on General Hospital.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued about the Ice Princess storyline. I'm intrigued. I can't believe it. The teens have won me over completely. I am loving this.
Me too.
You get a punch, you get to go to jail, We're handing them out for free. Let's go,
But
everybody.
you know what? This doesn't reminisce. Like, okay, seriously, when I saw Cameron and Spencer, when I saw Cameron and Spencer fighting, I'm not going to lie, I felt old school Lucky and Nicholas.
Yeah.
But I also felt Nicholas and Xander. If you don't know what episode I'm talking about, before we leave, go on YouTube. It's when Nicholas and Xander got drunk and they were fighting at the bar.
Yep.
I literally was looking at them, and I'm like, I love Trina and Josh's friendship. It gives me old school Emily and Elizabeth. I'm just like, this is the other shows. I'm sorry. Hey, Dave, what's up? Bo, what's up? Young and the Rustlers. Y'all need to get y'all stuff together, because General Hospital is showing you how to rifle your youngins and doing it well.
Yeah.
Yep. And integrating it just enough with the adult members of the canvas to keep each of the fan bases satisfied.
I thought it was.
They're doing it perfectly.
I thought it was priceless when Laura walked into the police station. Where are my grandsons? Not just one, for both of them,
Yeah.
And I loved how she put Spencer in his place too.
Yeah. We got to get ready to go, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You got 30 seconds. We'll be back next week.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you, Brandon.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you to Brandon Barash. We love you.
Yeah, bye, Brandon. Thank you.
Twitter.
Bye-bye. Follow us on Facebook.
Yes. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Let's go. Bye-bye, everybody. Have a good night, kids.
Great show.
Great show. Loved it.